What are your thoughts on UFOs?
Well, UFOs, even though a lot of people dismiss them as a hoax, are real. They come from outer space.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
I have.
Have you ever been abducted by a UFO?
I may have, because after I saw the UFO, I lost some time. And when I couldn't recall that time, so I'm assuming I may have been abducted. But that UFO that I saw, have you ever seen those disco lights? Like, well, I don't know if you've seen it, maybe on TV, from the 70s when the disco scene was going, you know?
Are you talking about a disco ball?
Yeah, a disco ball.
What in the fuck does that have to do with a UFO?
That's what the UFO looked like. It was about...
like a disco ball?
Yeah, it was about 1,000 feet in the air, and it was moving straight across, and it wasn't a balloon or nothing because it was staying a steady
So
course.
how in the fuck does that have to do with you being abducted by a UFO with the disco ball?
I didn't say for sure I was abducted. I just said after I watched the UFO and it disappeared, I had to get back to school. Like, I was young. I was about 8 or 9
Did you
years old.
tell the UFOs that you need to get back to school and they made sure you got back on time?
No, I never said a word. My mom said, get back, you better get going, you're going to be late for school. So I took off, but that's the last thing I remember. And then the next memory was I was coming home from school. But I had missed, it must have been about 4 or 5 hours.
So they just took you for a little ride and then took you back to school?
Well, I don't know if they took me just for a little ride. I think they might have done some experimentation on me. Because I had some stomach trouble in my stomach, of course. But
do you
I had to go to Calgary to specialists.
But did you think that, did they probe you in any weird ways?
I think they did. I think they shoved something down my throat. And
is that the only place you think they might have shoved something?
Well, they might have shoved something up my ass too. But what I'm getting at is I had stomach trouble, and I went to what are you doing? I went to Calgary to a specialist. Well, he probed me with a scope, and he said all my organs inside were not in the right place. So so then I got thinking, you know, maybe this UFO, while they were doing their experiments, you know, buggered something up and rearranged my organs inside.
So, did the doctor, did they have to, like, put your organs back in place?
No. They were just astounded that they were out of place. They didn't try putting them back in place because they didn't want to cause any more discomfort than possible. And the one doctor that was doing the scope, well, he was bent at the knee doing the scope.
He went on his knees to scope you?
Yeah, don't get the wrong idea there. He was crouched on one knee, and the whole thing was he complained after I went through complete hell, and he complained about that he had a real sore knee from being bent over so long.
Well, why was he bent over in the first place?
Because he had to shove that the scope down my throat to see what was in my guts.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for letting us know about your UFO experience.
Okay, and this is an honest to God deal. I really did see the UFO, and if people don't believe me, that's up to them. But I really did see a UFO shaped. It was round, and it looked like one of those disco things, with the sun reflecting off of it. It was almost hard to look at. It was so brilliant.
And what would you like to say to people out there if they don't believe you? Would you like to say something to them?
Yeah, screw you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.